talk, I don't even talk.
Thought I heard somebody talk.
I can pull up.
Madden football is the home of Super Bowl 57, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Broncos and the Bears, and it's coming up next.
We are pleased, as always, to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion Denver Broncos taking on the NFC champions, the Chicago Bears. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis, and what a season it's been for our AFC champions. And this was a fight just to get to the Super Bowl. You got to figure that they are very battle-tested and ready.
I'd agree with you 100% about that. You don't get there without having those types of attributes, and that's what you look for in a Super Bowl team. Character, confidence. These guys don't lack for either one of those. Now they're here. Now they're ready to win.
Meanwhile, our NFC champions, they have gone through a lot to get where they are. Everybody knows their story this season. What's the key for them as they start this Super Bowl?
Let's go full cliche on this one because it works. Remember what got you here. Been a winning formula all season long. This is a team that when we saw them in the preseason, we said they look like a group that has what it takes to be a Super Bowl winning team. And we've been proven right by what we've seen throughout the season.
The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. It's a big play there for the Broncos.
Well, after the standard 2-week layoff, you always wonder how's your offense going to respond and come out and play here in the Super Bowl. Well, they got a great answer right there and almost a sigh of relief on that side of the field because now they've got to feel like they can use their entire playbook and game plan for this one.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down. This Super Bowl, of course, just a huge one for this head coach. The first time he's walked the sidelines in a game of this magnitude. And you know, I might normally ask the cliche, what's going through his mind right now? But maybe the better question, CD, what do you think are the pitfalls of being a first-time head coach in this game?
Well, you know it's something that he thought about, Brandon, and he had to. And he was thinking about it long before he got to this stage. As the season progressed and he saw that his team was good, if he was smart, he started to make plans right then and there. Reach out to other coaches who've been there before. Find out how they handled winning, losing, handling all the ticket situations, travel, practice, all those things. And then trust your gut, make your best decision, and put it all out there and give your team their best chance to win.
They run on first down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's second down now.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Price looking to throw on second down. And he rifles one incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Off the play fake. Price. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. 3 points, probably not going to win this Super Bowl, but at least you get something on the opening drive.
And it's certainly not going to lose it. So the bottom line is, come away with the points now, come back and get greedy later, and try and put it in the end zone.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. On 1st down, it's Fields. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Bradley Chubb, he brought the pressure on the blitz, and he gets there for a loss of 12. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Justin Evans. And it's a terrific return here as he's going to have him set up with a 1st and goal right at about the 6-yard line. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick, has to do the same thing.
That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal. Off the bootleg. Price out to his, and he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Randy Gregory able to collapse the pocket, get to him, and drop him for a loss of a yard. A big one here early in this Super Bowl. It's 3rd and goal.
I'm going back to you. Tighten up, tighten up.
He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back. That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
The holding penalty, that puts him in an unenviable spot here as they try again on 3rd and goal. Looking to throw. Price. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
And McManus able to put it through. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the 1st. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. Fields leaving it with Montgomery here on the option.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
On 2nd and inches, Fields. It's brought in by Harris. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
56, Mike, 56, right there, 56.
And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
That's caught by Montgomery. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. So that was a very nice play, Charles, from a very speedy cornerback.
And that is a situation where in a defender's mind, you just have to pick a point on the football field and think to yourself, I'm going to sprint full out and meet him at that point. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but he had to play diagnosed perfectly there.
And if you're wondering how fast he was going, next-gen stats clocked him at close to 21 miles an hour. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and they take the lead here at 7-6. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. Off play action. Price. This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Off the play fake. Price. And he checks this one down to Williams. And he'll get nothing there. Stopped right at the line as that will wind us down to the end of this first quarter of play. After one, a 1-point game, 7-6.
Broncos 6.
And with a 3rd and 13 here, the defense in a dime look. Off play action. Price. This is the tight end Fant. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. So it's a gain of 12 there on the reception, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. It's a quarterback sneak. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first.
But when you do call quarterback sneak, you don't mind if your quarterback's a little bit on the vertically challenged side, do you? Because he's just going to hide behind his big guys up front and be able to surge forward and pick up the first down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now this time he'll look to throw. This pass caught by Hamler. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Javonte Williams taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Broncos have retaken the lead. McManus's point after is good. And that'll make this a 6-point game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the...
Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway.
He's running.
Touchdown, Chicago. So there, Charles, I mean, a situation where it didn't matter how far he had to run, he was not going to be denied, and he winds up taking this all the way to the end zone. Santos with the extra point, and with it, his guys take the lead here by a point. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time, they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
To throw is Price. Throwing on first down. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 38. A give to Williams, running right. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And the Bears will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
To Montgomery to begin the drive. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 108 yards rushing for him now in the first half of this Super Bowl.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
56. Mike, 56. Right there. 56. Pick it up.
Now Fields. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. A play fake, now Fields to throw. Being chased out left. And he finds Montgomery complete. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
They talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now. Hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Calais Campbell able to take him down. It's a loss of 3. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. 30, 20. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown.
Who wants some?
And what we just saw, very, very rare. We only had 5 of those in the first 50 Super Bowls.
The biggest stage, the biggest game, and we just saw it happen again. Extraordinary.
The defense has been good, and they were good again there. Extra point from McManus is good, and that'll make this a 6-point game. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
And in just about every game we see, partner, what do we do when we look at the stat sheet? We go right to
the turnover differential.
Without a doubt, because when we see that, that pretty much tells the tale of the game. And I know there's still plenty of time to go, but you've got to take care of the football in order to win it.
That's good for a Chicago Bears.
On first down, Fields. Flush to his right. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A big play there on the keeper.
On that play, as you saw the route start to develop downfield, I got the sense that maybe the run would set up for him. And he took full advantage of it and got a big gain on a busted play.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
He'll leave it for Montgomery complete. Only able to gain a couple there, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. There's a running back who was a receiver on the play. I think he's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Michael O.J. Mudia. There he goes left side. Past the 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. They'll look to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it, go for 2, and they did.
Well, yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There's a turnover, you take it away, they stuck it in the end zone, keep the momentum going. Give credit to the defensive guys for rallying and stopping that 2-point attempt.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be a second down.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3.
Fields. This one swung out to Montgomery. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
But they've certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
On first down, it's Montgomery. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Back to throw, Fields. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long.
56 to Mike, boys. 56. Check 56. Hey, let's get off the field, D. Let's get it right.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
These two offenses have gone up and down the field so far in the first half. Finally, I say, here's a stop on 3rd down.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. Williams is going to have the first down and a little more. And he's going to get this all the way up to the 30-yard line. So we've reached halftime here in the Super Bowl, as now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Both teams with some extra time to prepare during this long halftime break, but we're about ready to restart the second half of Super Bowl 57. So let's get back out to Arizona and Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And right now, their chances of hoisting that Lombardi trophy not looking too great, but perhaps that long halftime, maybe it did them a world of good.
But if there's ever a chance to regroup, it's in this game, right? Because you do have that long halftime, a chance to really assess things and maybe make some changes and true adjustments. They played great all the first half of the season for them. They're hoping to put it behind them and come out punching here in the second half.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a first down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Play action. It's Fields. That's complete to Mooney. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are going to take over here up near the 40. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in, coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
Flushed out right. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. Now a handoff. Here's Williams. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
That was an example of excellent defense there. They stuffed them. So now it brings up a third down situation. If I'm calling plays here, I make sure I put it in the hands of my quarterback and get it to a receiver real fast. I'm not running the ball here.
And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield.
We ought to come up with a T-shirt and sell it that says, no indecision on 3rd and 1. And we didn't see it on that run, did we? Got his shoulders square, just got right into the line of scrimmage and picked it up.
Absolutely. Picked his lane, went with it, and converted. Now here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Eluded, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Khalil Mack, give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. Boy, Charles, that time he took a bad situation and made it worse.
Yeah, you're almost putting together a nice little song there, aren't you? Because it's something you'll see from young quarterbacks. They have that tendency to retreat backwards instead of stepping up in the pocket.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. A nice pickup there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for third.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at third down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4.
Push him back. Push him back.
Operating from the gun. Price escaping the pressure right. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
It's 4th down.
So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. The kick by McManus is good. And that will make this now a 15-point advantage. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
One play action. Fields gonna let one fly for Robinson. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Michael Ojemudia. And the Broncos are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line. Well, his arm strength never an issue, but this one winds up in the wrong hands.
Oh, the coverage here is just terrific because when it's done really well, sometimes you can't distinguish whether it's the receiver or the defensive back the ball's intended for. He actually ran with him in perfect motion and able to make a big-time play.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Running the ball can be a struggle in this part of the field. In fact, it's a perfect spot for defenders to pin their ears back and try and work upfield, and they capture him for a loss.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And he will double the space they have to work with as they take it from the 2 to the 4.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
He'll let this go deep for Ruggs. And it looked like he got the feet down, did he? Yes, it's a catch. A huge play there for Denver. We saw this plenty last year in college. He loved to take his shots downfield, and that throw, that was a thing to behold there.
And he made that look effortless, didn't he? I mean, he's had a great game throwing the football. This is going to add to his yardage total in a big way. It's one thing to be accurate on your short and intermediate throws, but when you're hitting the bombs like those, look out.
And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Back to throw. Price. This is Fant on the short completion. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And this pass broken up. The contact well-timed there, and now 4th down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
And McManus able to put it through, and that will make this now an 18-point ball game. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They'll roll him out right. He's got the... And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. It's picked up by the Broncos. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 7.
Looking to throw. Price. He'll drop this down to Williams.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Price now from the gun on 3rd down. Flush to his right. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And they will score a pick-6 for a Bears touchdown. What a moment for him, a pick-6 in the Super Bowl. You think about some of the big pick-6s over the history of this huge game. I remember, because I was watching with a lot of Colts fans, Tracy Porter picking Peyton Manning to get the Saints' first title.
Yeah, that one pretty much sealed the deal for New Orleans as well. But I got to go back a ways because, you know, unfortunately I'm considerably older. Herb Adderley, the Green Bay Packers, got it all started. The first pick-6, Super Bowl II against the Oakland Raiders, and some of the better ones that were out there. You might remember Dwight Smith of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had 2 in one game when they won their Super Bowl championship against Rich Gannon in Oakland. You mentioned Tracy Porter already. How about James Harrison of the Steelers? You remember that one? 100 yards right before the half ended. That was a big-time play. But for me, the absolute classic, Willie Brown in slow motion against the Vikings for the Raiders. The grand old man, Willie Brown, 75 yards.
You recall them all. What a play here. Another pick-6 in the Super Bowl. Coming up on 2nd and 7. Back to throw. Price. He finds his man. Complete. It's Walton. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And he coughed it up. When that ball popped free, we could hear it all the way up here. Those guys down on the field alerting everyone of the fumble. He's lucky that his offensive mates picked him up and jumped on it.
Yeah, and you have to think to yourself, and I'm sure they've been echoing it on the sideline and into the huddle. Guys, we have the lead. Just take care of the football. Don't make it easier for them to start to make a comeback.
Now a hit and a loose football.
And that's what friends are for.
Right. As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turned it over there. That's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
From the gun, it's a give to Montgomery. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. The Bears on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Off play action, Fields. flushed out right. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the first, and stop the clock as well.
And you know in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movement. But for a quarterback, he has to continue to be what we call a flatliner. Level in everything he does and read the clock, feel it in the pocket, and go at the appropriate time.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Now a first down throw, Fields. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Montgomery a first down and then some. Touchdown, Chicago! David Montgomery with his 3rd touchdown of the Super Bowl. And the Bears have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. So what can the Bears do here as they'll go for 2? And he will get into the end zone as a 2-point conversion is successful. And the lead is down to a field goal here in the 4th. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And the tension ratcheting up all around. A one-score game, 4th quarter of the Super Bowl. This is what you folks came for. Every play with the potential to win or lose a title as they look to drain some time off this clock. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Looking to throw. Price completes it to Fant on the right side. 3 yards the gain there, second down. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Second down at 7. From the gun, Price. A throw left side, hauled in by Hamler. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. Back to throw again. And he's going to drop this off to Williams. Complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They're looking at a 4th down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. Here's Price throwing on 4th down. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon. And the Bears are right back in this football game. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They run it again with Williams. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6. Off the play fake. Price steps away. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. That is an absolute backbreaker. That was a design passing play, wasn't a draw. You think you got him stopped, good coverage downfield, and he's able to pick up the 1st with his legs. Defensively, that kicks into your psyche and hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and here's the thing. Anytime you give up a 1st down, it hurts you psychologically, but it hurts more when they get it this way, because you've covered everything. He didn't have any place to throw the football. He takes off running and picks it up anyway, and now you have to stay on the field for an extra set of downs.
And really could have used that stop trailing here in the 4th. The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
Following the penalty, it's Williams. This carry, despite the extra effort, will be stopped short of the 10. On the tackle, it's Randy Gregory.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And the Lombardi Trophy goes west, and it goes to the Denver Broncos, your Super Bowl champs. For the victors getting to hoist that Lombardi Trophy, you know, we've talked to guys that have done it, and they say there's no better feeling in sports.
I don't know how there can be. The journey to get to this game is incredible. And then to finally break through and win it when all eyes are on this game alone because there's nothing else going on, that's just got to be absolutely amazing. The task, incredible. But the accomplishment, forever.